What's up? What's good? It's your boy Zillionaire. Welcome to the show. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Now, the word of God says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Okay? You have to study to show thyself approved. You have to research. You have to know the law. Okay? And you also got to know the corruption of the law. Okay? Study the law and also study the corrupt side of the law. In her case, it was so many dirty, corrupt things. It was ridiculous, okay? It was ridiculous. Number one, no DNA, no forensics, no yellow tape. They didn't follow procedure. I'm going to pull up right here, you're looking at the Chicago law, the procedure that cops are supposed to follow when they find a dead body. I talked about this on my last channel, and I started to see, you have secret agents and you have undercovers and people watching my channel now because I'm exposing the truth. So they'll get on there and they used to try to tell me I didn't know what I was talking about. So y'all wonder why everything I talk about, I want to show you. Okay, I don't want to sit here. I'm not like these other YouTubers. If you want to hear facts and truth and proof, watch my channel. If you just want to hear somebody just talk your head off in a circle, you go watch them. Now, I'm going to read the procedure for what you're supposed to do, what cops are supposed to do when they find a dead body. Now, let me read this. And y'all could also stop the video and read it later. It says, no human body that is subject to investigation as an ME, which is medical examiner, case will be handled, moved, disturbed, embalmed, undressed, or removed from the place of death without permission from the medical examiner's office, unless it is necessary to protect a life, safety, health, or preserve a body from destruction, which her body was dead. So there was no use of trying to protect her life. She was dead. But they're not supposed to touch the body until a medical examiner comes and investigators come to find out the cause of death. Okay, they're not supposed to touch the body, period. They're not supposed to touch the body, okay? Man, and this is what they did with no DNA, no forensic, no investigators, no medical examiners, nobody. They just came and got the body. All ME cases must be reported immediately by the investigating member of the office of the medical examiner. The investigating member will follow all instructions received from the medical examiner, the ME, and include the name of the person contacted on the appropriate case upon notification. The MA or their designated representative may respond to the scene to take charge of the deceased remains. If there is any indication that the death occurred as a result of criminal, accidental, suicidal causes, the investigative member will. This is what they're supposed to do. Protect the scene as outlined in the department directive entitled Crime Scene Protection and Processing. They're supposed to have the scene outlined. They're supposed to have yellow tape. They're supposed to show you that there's a process of an investigation going on. Then it says, request a supervisor, detective from the appropriate Bureau of Detective area and the appropriate forensic service division personnel. I'm going to say this again. Request a supervisor detective. A detective is supposed to be on the scene. Medical examiner is supposed to be on the scene. From the appropriate borough, whatever detectives are in that borough is supposed to be on that scene. And the appropriate forensic service division personnel. Whatever forensics is in that division. Okay? None of this happened on Kanika Jenkins' scene. None of this happened on her scene, on her death scene. None of this happened. None of this went down. No yellow tape, no DNA, no forensic. They just moved her body around, took a bunch of pictures, and did whatever they wanted to do to her, which is unlawful. Number one, what they did to her body was unlawful. So you got to know the law, man. Got to know the law. And this is how corrupt R3MAINS is. That's why they have a history of covering up crimes. They never follow procedure. Not a town full of sex trafficking and organ trafficking. Follow procedure for what? This is more bodies, more money. Bodies are nothing but a piece of meat in R3MAINS in Chicago. Illinois is just for bodies, for organ trafficking. So y'all can stop this and read it yourself. And this is proof that Rosemont did not follow procedure on Kenneka Jenkins' crime scene. And I'm going to repeat something where it says, on B, where it said, if there is any indication that the death occurred as a result of criminal, accidental, suicidal causes, the investigative member will protect the scene as outlined in the department directive entitled Crime Scene Protection and Processing. They're supposed to protect, they're supposed to put the yellow tape around so nobody can go back there and mess with the body. Then it says request a supervisor detective from the appropriate borough of detective area. They're supposed to get the detectives, who's ever in charge of that borough, the detective is supposed to be there. And appropriate forensic services division personnel. Forensics is supposed to be there. Was any of this there on Kenneka's scene? Hello, somebody. Is anybody freaking home? See how dirty this case was? And I keep exposing the dirt and the crooked and the wicked evil forces that was behind her death. I keep exposing, I keep showing you facts. I keep showing you proof of how corrupt Rosemont is and their history of crime cover-ups. This is a dirty, dirty city. Very wicked. They make big money off organ trafficking, sex trafficking, and drug trafficking. That's what they do. They could care less about this girl. She was just another body for the organ trafficking business. They did not follow procedure because these are not good cops. The crooked cops are not going to follow procedure. Hello, somebody. Crooked cops don't follow procedure. Corrupt cops don't follow procedure. Not at all. Not at all. They don't follow procedure. That's not what they do. When they have a crooked agenda going on, they go about it their own way. But see, I'm just here to shed light on the case. I'm just here to educate y'all to pay attention to the truth. This is some evil, wicked stuff, y'all. In Chicago, that's a dirty, wicked, evil place, man. That is a wicked place. And all these girls ended up missing all the time. What do you think they're doing with these girls? They're probably getting girls sex trafficking and organ trafficking. Both. That's what Kenneka was a victim of, both. They traded her off for sex and got Kenneka's organs. They got her for both. She was a victim of sex trafficking and organ trafficking. Both. Both. But you see why there was no DNA, no forensics on the scene. Because when you have a bunch of crooked, dirty cops, they're not going to follow procedure. What is a procedure to a dirty cop? The procedure is to do the dirt that they was already premeditated to do. I'm your boy Zillionaire. Study the law and also study the corrupt side of the law. So anytime you see a crime scene or murder scene or stuff goes down and you see cops not following procedure, that's letting you know these are crooked cops. That's a red flag. They mishandled her body. They're not supposed to touch her body until the medical examiners get there, the investigators, and the forensics team. None of them were there. Nobody was there. Hello. Hello. Hello, somebody. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You're supposed to find out the cause of death or what you think the cause of death is before you transport the body. And then when you transport the body, the medical examiner does an autopsy. It's crazy, but it didn't happen like that. And we all know why, man. Red flag. I'm your boy Zillionaire, man. Just here to bring everything in that's in darkness to the light. This was some dirty, dirty, wicked stuff in the case. And y'all keep thinking that sex trafficking and organ trafficking is not real. They're one of the biggest businesses in the United States. Look it up. Those are the biggest businesses ran illegally in the United States. Kenneka was a victim of both. I'm out of here. Just read this stuff right here, y'all. That's what's wrong with our society. We want to do everything off of how we feel. We don't want to deal with the facts. We don't want to deal with truth. You cannot get a case reopened if you're not showing facts and proof. Okay, her case was mishandled from the beginning. This thing was red flags everywhere, all over the place from the beginning of the case, man. From the beginning, there were red flags all over the place. Dirty. They mishandled her body. They weren't supposed to be in there taking pictures and tossing her body all over the place like that. They didn't follow procedure. That was against the law what they did. Okay, they violated every law when it came to a crime scene. But that's what crooked cops do. They don't have to follow procedure when you're crooked cops. When everybody in your department is dirty and crooked and the people that run your city are dirty and crooked. The Stevens family, you know, when the guy that runs the city is wicked, they own buildings that's full of organ trafficking, and they're owning these buildings. They own property, and they're owning buildings and their partnerships with buildings that have organ trafficking going on. All these missing girls, all this sex trafficking going on. Dirty, man. Just dirty. And Kanika was just caught up, man, in a wicked, evil world. Study this stuff. Read this stuff. No procedure. So if something happened in your family, in your neighborhood, or a case, something you see on TV, you see something that's mishandled, and they're not following procedure, that lets you know their department is full of corruption. No DNA, no forensics, no investigator, no medical examiners. None of them were on the scene for Kanika case. None of them. And that was the procedure for when there's a dead body. I'm your boy Zillionaire. I'm out of here.